Good morning. How's everyone doing? Okay, so today is English Q&A session. Q&A means question and answer. So if you have questions you want to ask me, then ask me, and I will try to answer them. Okay? Hello, Annie. Seems like the weather is going to be really nice today, but my allergies are terrible. Hello, Zoe. How about my daughter? Annie? Did you message me about your daughter? I get a lot of messages, so sometimes it's too many. You did. Where? On Hello Talk? Or in my email? Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all the messages. Not email. Okay. I'm looking in my Hello Talk chat here. You might have to send me another message because it looks like maybe it got buried in a lot of other messages. Sometimes my messages get lost because I have too many. Please send me one more message and oh, you just asked this question for the first time now? So you haven't asked me before. Ah, okay. How old is your daughter? Ten. Okay. That's old enough, but I only accept children as students after they have an interview with me, right? So, unfortunately, not every child is great at online learning. Some children just don't have the right patience and focus to be an online student. So I only teach children online if I have an interview with them first. And then I can see, do they have the interest in English? One, because I only teach children who are interested in English. If your child doesn't like English, I am not going to teach your child. Okay? I don't want to be a torture teacher. Okay? I don't teach people who don't like the thing that they're learning. I won't do it. Okay? So you can send me a message on Hello Talk, or you can send me a message on my website and tell me everything that I need to know about your daughter. Okay? Remind me how old she is. Tell me how much has she learned English. Tell me, does she like English? This kind of thing, right? And then we can set up an interview and do one video call, and then we'll see if she qualifies. Okay? I have at least 100 messages in my little red book from parents who want me to teach their children. At least 100. It's probably 200 now. But I only accept children as students if they can pass an interview with me and I can see that they are interested and they have focus and patience, and that they have the right attitude and ability to have good lessons with me. Okay? So send me a message and we can talk about it. Okay? Hello, Tanya. Hello, Giuseppe. Her English level is just a little. Okay. Does she learn English in school? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Does she like English? That's one of the most important parts. They have to like it. They have to like it. And I know that that's hard, but there is no joy in learning something that you don't like, and there is no joy in teaching something that you don't like. And I understand that in life you can't always like things, but I also understand that in life, whenever possible, you should try to like the things that you do. It's not a difficult thing to say. So, yeah. You can find everything about my classes on my website if you want to find all my information. I don't want to turn this into a commercial for my lessons. But if you go to my link tree right there. I just put my link tree in the chat. You can find my website in the link tree, and if you go to my website, you can find all the information about my classes. Okay? Annie, you might have trouble. Some Chinese people have trouble using my website outside of China. Some people can and some people can't. Okay? It's AFIECEnglish.com. That's my website. Okay? But you might need a VPN. Okay? So if you have questions about English, then you should ask me your questions. Questions about grammar, reading, writing, listening, speaking, public speaking, interviews, pronunciation, accent. Ask me your questions. And if you have a good question and you want to come on stage, you can. If you have a good question. Okay? You have to have a question to come on stage. And really, what I should start doing is I should say, you can only come on stage if you go to my blog and read and like a post. You know, a lot of people are reading my blog, but nobody's hitting the like button. Not one person has hit a like. Or, no, okay, I think I have hundreds and hundreds of views, but maybe like 3 likes. So please, when you go to my blog, if you're going to read my blog and you like my blog, then show me that you like my blog by clicking the like button. Okay? I hate that you have to do that. I wish we didn't have to live in a market economy where everything has to be bought and sold, but we do. So please do me a favor, a small favor, and if you go to my blog, please make sure that you, please make sure that you hit the like button, okay? And subscribe. If you like it, then subscribe, okay? And yeah, I have a blog right here. Go to my blog. This is my blog. Okay, if you go to my blog here, up here at the top says posts, right? You can go here and you can see all of these posts here. The importance of having a vocabulary learning system. Okay, the best way to learn, every way to learn. Okay, some of these are about learning. Some of these, you can go up here and you can see I have articles about etymology, about grammar. I have some chapters from my book, practical tips, some articles about pronunciation, some articles about vocabulary, okay? And my favorite articles are called concepts. Concepts articles are a little bit difficult for some readers, okay? So concepts maybe are only for intermediate to advanced readers, okay? But if you go here, like I just wrote this one is the question I get asked all the time. How do I learn vocabulary better? People ask me this all the time. Well, guess what? I wrote the article and I gave my answer. And my answer is a very good one, and it is a very long one, where I explain everything you need to know. Everything you need to know about learning vocabulary is right there. But if you do this, then please go right here. Look, what's this right here? What's this little thing? What is that? Huh? What is that? Ding! Okay? Click the like button. Whoops, I can't even click it. Or leave a comment. Leave a comment, please. You know, let me know that you are alive. Let me know that somebody read it. Okay? Tell me you think my writing sucks. Okay? Yeah. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Share. Hit the like button, leave a comment, share. And even better, you can go here and you can buy Teacher Mark a coffee. You can click the support button And if you want, you can give me a little tip for all the work I do. Okay? Oh, I hate marketing myself. There's nothing quite like prostituting yourself for the economy. Can I explain the difference between despite and in spite of? I'm going to say, let me check something very quickly. Yeah, that's what I thought. In general, those are both interchangeable almost always, right? Um, in spite of is usually more formal, okay? Especially in writing. And despite is more widely used in spoken English, okay? So they are pretty much the same exact meaning, but one is more formal and one is usually more casually used in conversation. Okay? Hello, Jasper. Thank you very much for the gifts. I really do appreciate it. Giuseppe, how have you been, my friend? It's good to see you here so often recently. You're going to America for postgraduate study, so you must pass the TOEFL. All right, well, then you better start studying every day. The topic is English. If you have a question about English, you should ask me your questions about English. Leo, how should I systematically learn English? Leo, that's a very big question. I don't think I can really answer that kind of a question very quickly, easily. What I would tell you is if you follow me here, you'll hear many tips and suggestions about how to systematically learn English. That's what my main focus is to teach you a good systematic way to learn language. Okay? Where you should start is that you need to understand that there are 8 parts of language. So you need to make 8 plans of study. You need to have a plan of study for reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Those are the 8 parts of language that I teach my students to focus on. Okay? Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. You must make sure that one of your parents can speak English. Vicky, what do you mean? Do you mean the students that I have? Oh, isn't his question about how to make English good? Well, Vicky, you can't choose your parents. You don't get to choose that. So that's not a good answer. You can't tell people just have a parent. That's nice, but no. That's not helpful. What about idioms? Idioms are good. Idioms are great. I teach about idioms every couple weeks. Usually I'll do a live stream about idioms once every 2 weeks. Can I recommend some TV series to learn English? Lisa, the most popular TV series ever for learning English is Friends. Friends is an American TV show. It's very old now. It was popular in the 1990s when I was younger. And it is a show about a group of friends who live in New York City and work in New York City. And so it's a show about daily life. It's about relationships and friendships and work. That's a good show for learning English because it's about daily life. Any TV show about daily life would probably benefit you. Okay? I like shows about science fiction and about aliens and about dragons and all kinds of fanciful stuff, right? I like that stuff. But I think that stuff doesn't really have good value for English learning for most people. Okay? So when I tell people if they want to watch TV and learn English, choose something that's good for that's practical. Choose something that has practical content for you. All right? And then, of course, choose something that you like. I can't recommend anything because I can only recommend what I like, but that's not what you might like. Okay? Should you practice English with a native English speaker? Artyom, I would say yes and no. Yes, whenever possible, you should if you can. However, you need to remember that not every native English speaker is a good English speaker. So, that's true for any language. In every language, there are some people who speak better than others, right? And some people who speak worse than others, right? So, when you speak to someone, you need to be selective. You have to be choosy, right? Choose a good one, right? So if you find somebody who's good, who speaks well, then yes, of course. Yeah. Friends, The Office, Modern Family. Yeah, I think that those are pretty good shows. Modern Family, I think, is a really good show. I think that Modern Family is a show that not everybody totally understands the purpose of it or the content, but it's a good show. And it's about family, right? So it definitely is some daily common English used in the show, right? Okay? Okay, looks like we have a hand raised finally. Arya. Is it the Arya I know, or is it a different Arya? Oh, Arya refused to go on stage. Arya is too scared. Arya, what happened? Come talk to me. It's okay. I won't bite. Raise your hand. Rian. Well, Rian, again, you should make a good plan for studying. Listen, everybody. If you say that English is important to me, if you say that you really want to learn English, then what are you doing to show that? Anybody can say, I want to do something. I can say I want to fly a plane. I want to learn how to fly a plane. But if I say I want to learn how to fly a plane every day, nothing changes. Nothing changes. So, if I want to learn how to fly a plane, then I better think about it and make a plan. Figure out how to make a plan. Okay? Okay, and Rian, slow down. Slow down. You cannot get all the help you need right now. Okay? So slow down. But almost 83,000 people follow me on Hello Talk because I have been here for 5 years teaching English. I've been on Hello Talk for 12 years. I've been doing live streams here for 5 years. And I teach English for everyone, not just for you. Everybody here wants to be a fluent native speaker. You're not alone. Everybody is like you here. They all want to learn. So, one of the most important parts of learning, do you know what it is? If you want to learn, you must listen. If you can't listen, you can't learn. If you can't listen, you can't learn. So, start by listening. Okay? Ask specific questions. Ask specific questions. Don't say, "Can you help me with my English?" That's not a good question. Don't say, "My English is bad, can you make it better?" That's not a good question. Don't say, "Will you help me with my English?" No, I'm helping everybody, not just you. Okay? So, ask a question like, how can I improve my vocabulary or my pronunciation? Or how can I improve my accent, right? Something like that. Those are more specific questions. Okay? You had a conversation with ChatGPT. It told me my level is B2, but I don't feel that when it comes to speaking, so should I try it another way? Well, I think, Aya, testing is one of those things that you need to remember. Testing, the results of testing are really only valid if you have many recorded data points. What I mean is, have that same conversation with ChatGPT 10 times. 10 different times have a conversation with ChatGPT. And then at the end ask it, what is your level? If 10 times it tells you that you're B2, then you're probably B2. Okay? But you should also ask it to prove it. So when you say, Aya, you say, I don't think that that's true. Did you tell ChatGPT that? You should. You should say, you say I'm a B2, but I don't think that's true. Can you show me why you think I'm a B2 level? And it will explain why it made that assessment. It will tell you, you use this vocabulary and this level of grammar, and that's why I made this assessment of your level. But you should ask it to prove it. I do that all the time with ChatGPT. ChatGPT will tell you anything you want it to, anything you want to hear. It will always try to make you happy. So that's why you always have to be challenging. Whenever it says something, challenge the answer. Challenge the answers it gives you. Don't just accept whatever it says. Ask it to prove it. Ask it to show you. Okay? How should you improve your vocabulary? Well, you can go, I'll tell you how. You can start by going here. Copy that link and paste it into your browser. That is an article that I just wrote in my blog, and the article is called "The Importance of Having a Vocabulary Learning System." It's one of my best articles, actually. I just finished it last night at 12:30 in the morning. And that's an article that will explain my entire system for how you should learn vocabulary. Okay, go read it. Go read it. Hello, Ashin from Myanmar. Hello, Christine. Thank you. But you can easily change ChatGPT's mind. That's true, but that's why I always ask it to prove whatever it says to me. Show me the statistics. Show me the data. Show me your work of how you came up with your answer to tell me whatever. After you question it and you ask it to show the work, then it's more likely you can accept its answers as truth, okay, or as accurate, we'll say, okay? But yeah, you need to question ChatGPT as much as you can, okay? How can you improve your grammar? Aya, your grammar seems pretty good to me. At a high level of grammar, I would say the best way to improve your grammar would be with ChatGPT again. And tell ChatGPT, I need to improve my advanced English grammar. Please give me some exercises daily that I can do to try to work on my advanced English grammar. And help me find my most common advanced English grammar mistakes. Okay, or no, just help me find my most common English grammar mistakes, not just advanced ones, any of them. Okay, ChatGPT is a great tool if you ask it to chat with you, talk with you for a while about something. Choose a topic, talk about sports, talk about the weather, talk about travel, talk about food. For a while, just have a conversation. Then ask it to assess your grammar, tell you what mistakes you made, and then find your most common mistakes. If you write enough, it will tell you these are the 5 mistakes that you do all the time. Those are the ones that you should focus on. Okay? Once again, Leo, let me put the link here again. I'll put it in the chat. That's the link for my latest article about vocabulary. That is a golden article. And then the other suggestion, Aya, for grammar. Grammar needs constant work. Grammar is like a dish that needs to be polished all the time. So you need to constantly do a little bit, right? You have to do some exercises, okay? And a good book is great. If you have a good book to review grammar, that's good. Okay, there's a great website I like to use for my students called GamesToLearnEnglish.com. GamesToLearnEnglish.com. That website is a free English games website where you can play games to learn grammar and vocabulary and things like that. It's mostly beginners level grammar, intermediate beginning level grammar, but it's still very useful. Okay, hello Ruby. It made a simple mathematics mistake once, and when I asked it to again make sure I got the right answer. Right. You have to check. You have to tell it to prove it. Okay? Hello, Carlos. Mucho gusto. Do you have to learn about grammar? Eric, you need to learn at least a little. Yes. A little bit, yes. You need some. But it depends on your goals. If your goal is just to have English to play video games and hang out with your friends and travel, maybe, that doesn't require a really strict level of grammar, a high level of grammar. But if you want to get a master's degree in English, then that does. Okay, so it depends on your goals. Do I usually talk with ChatGPT or type? I usually type. When I'm home, I usually type. Sometimes when I'm out driving, I will chat with ChatGPT as I drive. What I will usually do is I'll have it, maybe I have an idea for an article or an idea for something I want to write for my book or something, and I'll talk about it while I'm driving with ChatGPT. Okay, if you go here, everybody, you'll find all of my links to follow me. Okay, you can find my WeChat, you can find my my website, my WhatsApp group, you can find my blog, you can find my podcast, you can find my YouTube channel. It's all on that Linktree. Go to my Linktree. You can find everything there. Okay, and on my website, by the way, if you need to study English, everything you need to study English is on my website, and it's free. If you just go subscribe, you have to subscribe. You have to pay me by giving me your email, but you don't have to pay me with money for that website. Okay? Now my blog is free for some articles, and some articles are going to be only for subscribers. Okay? But there are a bunch of articles, I don't know, there are probably at least 20 some articles to read for free on my blog. Okay? Jaja, what is your speaking level? Jaja, did I talk to you? I can't remember. I think I talked to you. Did I talk to you? I think, was that you that came on stage? Yes. Oh, I do remember. You are better than you think you are. You're better than you think you are. So that's true for most people. Most people think, oh, my English is not that good. But really, when I talk to them, most of the time, I think their English is actually not that bad. So, I think your English is better than you think. So just keep working. Keep trying. Which do I like most, chatting or calling? I prefer chatting, typing, because I can't quite interact with it naturally yet. It's not comfortable enough with me yet. I can't I don't believe it. The voice I hear, it's too robotic, it's too fake, it's too yeah, I don't know. I don't it works. It works, but I know I'm talking to a bot. I know I'm talking to... When I type, I feel like I could actually have a conversation. But when it talks, I just immediately know this is not natural. Yeah. So, anyway. Let's see. Hello, Sua. Welcome back. When will I finish the lesson? You mean today? I will be here for another... I'll probably be here for about 30 more minutes, maybe less. Hello, Zoe. How are you? Oh, no, you're talking to them. Oh, I'm sorry. I see that. I thought I said hi to you earlier. Let's see. You're preparing for the IELTS. Can I help you out? I can. If you're preparing for the IELTS, then you should go to my website. If you go to my website, you'll find a link under resources. Click resources and then click IELTS TOEFL. And I have all kinds of resources for you to prepare for the IELTS on my website for free. Okay? Oh, I forgot to check on... Oh, good. I didn't miss anybody over there. Good. All right. You watch on YouTube. Good. I'm glad. And once again, everybody, I will just tell you that I know we live in this new modern age of social media where everybody wants everything in the fastest and the shortest and the quickest little way possible. Everybody wants a 1-minute video that teaches them everything. Well, guess what? I don't do those. I don't do those. What I do is I do write good articles. And in my writing, it's comprehensive. It means my answers are complete. Okay? I really try to give you a complete answer. So you only need to have the patience to go read. And how sad are you if you can't do something as simple as read an article? You can't access my website. Yeah, right? 很多中国人他们不可以用如果你用一个 VPN 你可以啊 Okay? Yes, we did become super lazy. Super, super, super lazy. It's actually sad. And actually, I think it's an advantage that I have. Guess what? I'm not worried about the next few years of ChatGPT and AI and all these things, because for every person who's out there, millions of you will become lazy. Millions of people will become lazier. Well, guess what? Not me. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to use ChatGPT in the most crazy and obsessive and intense ways that I possibly can. Not in shallow ways. I'm going to use it in deep, deep, deep ways. And it's going to give me an advantage, a terribly great advantage. Because, Norman, you're right. So many people are becoming lazier and lazier. So if you can learn how to have patience and focus are going to be superpowers in the next few years, because nearly no one will have them. Patience and focus will be superpowers, because most people are going to be squirrel. Oh, I'm going to watch that video. Oh, no, I'm going to watch that video. Oh, no, I'm going to watch that video. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Oh, hee, hee, hee. That's so many people today. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Do we have anybody else? Nobody else is raising their hand. If you want to raise your hand and come ask me a question, if you have a question, you can raise your hand. Nobody? Yes, patience and focus. Just recently, where's that quote? Do you guys know who Ray Bradbury is? Ray Bradbury? I always say his name wrong. Ray Bradbury. Why is it so hard for me to say his last name? Bradbury. Ray Bradbury. Do you know him? He's an author. He's an American author. And when he wrote some great books. And one of the things he said, you don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. You don't have to burn the books. No. You just have to get people to stop reading them. If people stop reading, culture gets destroyed. Well, guess what? Here we are. That's why I'm saying patience and focus will be a superpower, because people who have patience and focus will be able to use the powers of AI far, far, far more effectively, beneficially. Yeah. Does reading help speaking? Yeah, they all help each other. Okay, if you learn how to if you practice reading, your reading will give you vocabulary words that you can use when you speak, and you can see the way people say things, right? Oh, I like the way that they said that. I want to say that like that. Then you can say it, right? So, of course, reading can help your speaking. Yes. Anyone else want to raise their hand and come talk to me? Nobody? I said something before that I still remember. People look at the people who are reading like they're weird or doing some magic. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Yeah. I know. Reading and studying and trying to be smart have become almost like a curse. You know, like, ooh, he's reading. What's he doing? You know? Hmm. You like to read? Good. Everyone should like to read. I don't care if you like to read everything, but you should like to read something. And if you don't like reading anything, it means that you honestly know nothing. That's what it means. If you say, I don't like food, it means you don't know anything about food. If you say you don't like reading, it means you don't know anything about reading. If you say you don't like music, it means you don't know anything about music. You can't say, I don't like something that you've never experienced. You can't say, I don't like something that you know nothing about. So if you've only heard 3 songs, or you've only heard 3 bands, then you can't say, I don't like music, because you've only heard 3 bands. There are billions of them. Right? So, yeah. You know, if you don't like reading, then that means you just don't know enough about reading. There are lots of things that you would love to read. You just haven't seen them. You just haven't seen them. That's all. Is it weird to ask about my gear? No. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm a drummer. That was my first and it's my primary career job still. I still consider myself a drummer before I'm anything else. I've been drumming longer than I've done anything else. So I am a teacher. I'm an English teacher, but I am also a musician and a drummer, and I have been a drummer for a very long time. So yeah, those are my drums behind me. You read many dialogues. Do I think that's good for you? Yes, I do. Yeah, I have a great book of dialogues called Speak English Like an American. And that's all it is. It's a bunch of dialogues that you can read. And it's great. It's good for hearing casual conversations in many situations. Yeah, absolutely. That's another great thing you can do with ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT to create some common dialogues in common daily situations. You know, you can ask it to create a common dialogue in a bank, create a common dialogue in a restaurant, create a common dialogue wherever, at work. Okay? And you can read it. Yeah. If you're planning on reading the book Surrounded by Idiots because you're interested in psychological books. All right, Norman. That's cool. I don't think I know that one. But it sounds good. By Thomas Erickson. Interesting. Yeah, that looks pretty interesting. I personally think psychological books, psychology, anything about psychology, it's very valuable in almost any industry. So, psychology will help you if you're a teacher. Psychology will help you if you're a musician. Psychology will help you if you are a doctor. Psychology will help you if you're a lawyer. Psychology will help you if you are in marketing and advertising. Psychology will help you if you are a sociologist or scientist. Psychology will help you. Just about any job can benefit from the perspective of knowledge of psychology. It was a suggestion from ChatGPT. Cool. All right, cool. Good for you, Norman. Oh. Jellyfish, how's your new job working out? Sociology. Sociology. I am an ENFJ. Yes, I am. Yeah, I guess that's rare. Somebody told me that's rare, but I don't remember. Hajar says, I believe reading is so important, specifically, or especially in the current era of superficial information overload that makes people think they know everything. Yeah, I also wrote another good article that I think you should read, and it's all about how we are now living in the age where they're marketing. They are not marketing products anymore. They're marketing time. They're marketing your time. Right? So, have you ever heard of the phrase caveat emptor? Buyer beware? Caveat emptor, it's Latin, means buyer beware. It means that when you're buying something, you're the buyer. You need to be careful about what you buy. Seller beware, caveat venditor, means the the person who's selling things, they need to be honest about what they're doing. But now we are living in a new age, and it's now not buyer beware or seller beware. It's viewer beware. Because what they are doing is trying to steal your attention and your time. All of social media is designed to try to steal your time. So, now, for example, I like to watch cooking videos sometimes. I like to watch a good cooking video and learn how to cook something well. But now, social media is full of videos of people who cook things, and they say that they're great, and they say how amazing they are, and they say how incredible it is and how great it is, but it's obvious that they are deliberately trying to make something that's not good. They're trying to make something that's not good while they say how great it is. Do you know why? Because if they make something terrible and they say, oh, it's so amazing, it's so good, you're going to freak out. You're going to say, oh my God, that looks horrible. What are you talking about? You're crazy. What are you doing? And that is called engagement. Now they've got you. So if they make a video where they cook something perfectly well, 100 people might watch and like it. If they make a video where a baby poops in your food, 1 million people will watch it. That's where we are now. That's not about a product. They're not trying to make a product. There's no product anymore. The product is distraction, the time. They're trying to steal your time, right? They used to have to make something. You had to do something to get attention. Now you get attention by doing the dumbest stuff you can do, because dumb stuff gets more attention. And it's easier. It's easier. So I have a good article about that on my blog. You should read it. You should read it. How can you do that test? Where is that test? The Myers-Briggs test, I think is what it's called, if I remember right. Yeah. Type in this. Do a search online for Myers BRIG. Sorry, let me try again. Myers BRIGGS. Myers-Briggs test. Do a search for that, and you should find it. And you can take a test for free online that will tell you about your emotional personality. Good night, jellyfish. The article, yeah, sure. Let me find it here for you. Where is it? Here it is. I'll give it to you. Guard your attention in the age of false content. And somebody asked me, do I use ChatGPT to write my articles? Yes, I do. I do. Absolutely, I do. However, this is a big but. A big however. I promise you that the way I use ChatGPT to do my writing is very different than probably what you're doing. Okay? When I use ChatGPT, it's an exhaustive process of writing. What that means is I will write something. I'll start with a paragraph, or I'll start with a page that I wrote about this idea that I have, right? Something I want to say, okay, or write about. I'll give it a piece of it, and then I'll tell it, write the article and include these things. and do it in my voice, in my style. Okay? But then, whatever it writes, that's not the end. I'm not finished there. Then I will ask it to go through a process of questioning with me. I ask it to ask me questions about what I wrote. It's called the Socratic method. Socrates. Socrates was a guy who liked to ask questions. So any idea you would have, he would say, well, that's a great idea. But what about this thing? Can you tell me more? What your idea, can you tell me about this thing in your idea? Explain this more, because I don't understand. Or what about this problem with your idea? They talk about it. They debate it, right? So I do that with ChatGPT back and forth and back and forth and back and forth over and over again. I might do 100 times back and forth or more of saying, no, I don't like the way you wrote that. No, write it like this. No, I'm trying to say this. And no, I also forgot to say this. And no, you took out too much of my writing. Put it back. I yell at it sometimes. I say, what are you doing, man? I just wrote 500 words and you cut it down to 300. That's way too much editing. That's way too much editing. I'll tell it, what are you doing? You're ruining my writing. I asked you to edit my writing. I did not ask you to rewrite it. I did not ask you to change it so much that it's not mine anymore. You have to be like that. If you want to use ChatGPT to help you write, then you have to be obsessive. You have to be obsessive. You have to be willing to say, well, I'll tell you why I'm obsessive. I'm obsessive because even if it's easy for me to just say, can you write this article, please? Done. I can't do that. I can't do that. I cannot put my name on something that's not mine. I can't put my name on something that's not mine. If I don't feel like I really wrote it, that it's my words, then I cannot put my name on it. Lots of people can. They don't have any problem with that. They seem to be okay with just saying, yeah, this is mine. I wrote it. I think ChatGPT is brilliant, and it's an amazing tool for so many things. But it requires that you know how to use it well, and it requires that you understand something about intellectual and academic integrity. Intellectual and academic integrity. That means that I'm using it to help me learn. I'm not using it to help me cheat. That's the difference. If you're using it to help you learn, then it is wonderful. If you're using it to help you cheat, that's pathetic. It's sad. You're using the greatest technology we have invented in human history to be lazy. How sad is that? That's like ironic. It's really ironic. The most powerful technology in the world, and you use it. Why? Because you don't want to do any work anymore and you don't want to think anymore. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, did I miss somebody? Oh, look, Carolina wants to come talk with me. I'm sorry, Carolina, I didn't see you had your hand raised.
Hey, Mark, long time no see.
Yeah,
It's been
long
a
time no see.
while.
How are you? It has been a while.
I'm doing great. I'm
Good.
doing great.
You look great today.
What about you?
I like your what is it, a sweater?
My, it's a sweater.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a nice sweater. I like it with the stars. That's cute. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. What's new? Anything?
Well, a lot of things talking about ChatGPT. I
Mhm.
am doing a screenwriting course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
My idea is to. I use ChatGPT because I need to do research, a
Uh-huh.
lot of research. So because of course I'm doing a movie. Like the idea is to write a screenwriting for a
So
movie,
so
but
wait.
I need to.
So you're taking a class on screenwriting, but you're asking ChatGPT to help you.
Yes,
Ah, that's
I'm
great.
using
Okay.
ChatGPT for
That's
my
that's
research.
awesome. Yeah, that's great. Right. And that's what I do too. I ask it to help me with my research, with my articles and with my ideas. Um, and yeah, you have to prove everything. You have to make sure you can find the data.
Mhm.
Show me the data. That's what I always tell it. Show me the
Yeah,
data. you
but
know?
sometimes ChatGPT is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, it is.
sometimes give me some sources that I said, please
Don't
give me the
exist.
source where you are saying this. Why are you
Right.
saying this? Give me the source.
Right.
Please give me exactly the link where you take that information.
Right.
And sometimes they give me nothing.
Right. Or
Links
or
that they
or it'll
provide
make a
me give
link,
me
but it's a
nothing.
false link. It's not a real link. Yeah. Right.
False links.
Yeah.
And I said, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. But again, you have to. The reason it does that is because it is programmed to please you. It is programmed to always give some answer. So when it, there when it gives false information, they call that hallucinating. That's what they call it when it gives you something completely made up. It's called hallucinating. And when it hallucinates usually because either it can't find any information to give you an answer, or the information it found is conflicting. Like it says this, but it also says this, so it doesn't know what to tell you. That's when it might make up something and just try to give you an answer. And that's why, sometimes I have to tell it. Sometimes I treat it like a student, and I have to tell it like,
Yeah, it is a student.
yeah, I have to tell it. I have to tell it. Like, why would you lie to me instead of just telling me you don't know? And I tell it it's okay to say I
Uh-huh.
don't know. And that's what I've said to it. I said, if you don't have enough information, I told it this. I said, if I ask my student about something, and if they don't have any information about that thing, I don't want them to make up an answer. Right? If I say, hey, how was your vacation to Texas, but you didn't go to Texas? I don't want you to say, well, it was great. The cows were amazing. No, if you didn't go, then you don't get to say that because you didn't do it, right? So, but again, it will make up things because it wants to always have an answer and it wants to always fill
Oh,
in the holes. Yeah, but that's why
yeah.
you just have to be very exhaustive. Just like when my student says I have the answer and they tell me that whatever, I have to say, well, where did you find this answer? And can you prove that to me or can
Exactly.
you show that to me? Like, and I'm that's fine. So in that way, it's kind of human. That
Yeah. A lot
sometimes
of
it makes.
mistakes, so you have to find it.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think that children are like this. Some of the things that are going on with ChatGPT are almost like child psychological development, where
Yeah.
children have to learn also that they shouldn't lie about things. You should just tell me what you know, or tell me that you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But children sometimes they have to learn the hard way. They have to learn by lying. They lie to you, and then they get caught, and then they're in trouble, and now they feel bad and they feel guilty. I wonder if ChatGPT or I wonder if AI will reach a point soon where it might make that same conclusion. And it might learn that, yeah, if I don't know, then obviously I shouldn't give just some answer. That makes no sense whatsoever, you know? Um,
Well, I hope that they go to that point, but I think it's almost impossible because they have to find any information that is on the web.
well, that's true.
So,
The problem is that it has to learn how to be more discerning. Discerning is a word that,
discerning.
yeah, that means to like to be able to choose more carefully. right? And that's what humans have to do now too. The internet is full of garbage. 90% of it is garbage. And you have to be discerning enough to be able to say garbage, 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 good. Garbage, 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 good. Garbage, garbage, right? You have to find the ones that are good and you have to find the ones that are garbage and get rid of them, right?
Yeah, critical thinking. We call it critical thinking.
That's right.
It's really important to have it.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I think it's still learning what critical thinking is, just like a child does. I think but in some ways, I think that the development of AI is very similar to child psychological development, that there are stages it has to go through, and it has to learn from its mistakes, and it has to figure out what's a better way, and what's expected, what is expected of it. That we don't expect you to lie. No, that's not what we expect you to do. We're trying to get to the truth. And so, of
But
course,
they copy humans, and humans lie, so they
That's
also
right.
learn that.
that's right. Yeah, but that's why it's so important that you train it. You have to train it, right? So when I talk to ChatGPT, it probably talks to me differently than it talks to you, because I have told it what I expect. I have told it that I don't want you to flatter me anymore so much, that I want you to expect me to question everything. Everything that you give me, I'm going to challenge it, expect it. And I want you to understand that whatever you do, I'm never going to be completely happy with whatever you do. And that's okay. That's how we'll get to the answer, is by talking about it together, right? So it will give me a piece of the information and I will say, well, that's good, but not good enough. Keep talking until we get to good enough, right? This is the thing that I'm trying to teach people that I think might be, it's a game changer, I think, because if you ask ChatGPT, let me show you. I'm gonna show you very quickly. I'm going to copy one of my articles and paste it into ChatGPT. And then I'm going to ask it to do what's called the Socratic method. The Socratic method means
What is this a tragic meaning?
Socrates, the philosopher.
Yeah.
His whole method of philosophy was about debate. He would ask a million questions until he would get the answer for sure, right? He would just keep asking questions, and it was like when I read the book The Republic by Plato's, Socrates and Plato. I loved it because philosophy is usually so boring and so dry and like, oh my God, kill me now. But this book was like, it was like listening, it was like reading about five guys who were arguing about government while they're having some wine. And they're just saying like, well, I think we should have a government like this, and it would work like this, and this is why it would be great. And the other guy will say, well, that's an interesting idea, but what about this problem and this problem? Oh, well, then we do this, and then they just keep talking about it until at the end, then they finally have an answer. And so I ask ChatGPT to do that with me. With anything that I write, with anything that I do, I ask it to then question me. So I'm not asking it the questions, it is asking me the questions. And that changes everything, because then you can discuss and you can teach it what you're trying to show, what you're trying to learn. Right? So let me try this very quickly here. Copy. Let's open up my chat GPT here. And I'll do a new chat. Okay. Let's see. Analyze this article for me and then employ the Socratic method. Whoops. Let me try that again. Excuse me. Okay, let's see here. Let me share my screen in 1 second here. My throat is so dry. Okay. Here we go. Pardon me, everybody. Scratchy
Don't
throat.
worry.
Oh, wrong one. No, I want to share ChatGPT. This one. Here we go. Okay, so I asked it, I said, analyze this article for me and then employ the Socratic method of inquiry to discuss its validity. Okay, so and then I copied and pasted here, and here it goes. This article makes a forceful case for rethinking how we treat our attention in the age of digital distraction. Okay, so let's analyze its content, structure, and strength using Socratic style inquiry. So here we go. Now it's going to say, here we go. What is this article claiming to be about? Now I have to answer that. I have to say, this is what its article is about, right? What evidence is offered, right? Let me just change this. Wait. Let's try this. Whoops. All right, here we go. Now, there we go. Is attention truly the most valuable resource we possess? Or are there forms of attention like rest, play, or leisure that don't need to be guarded but simply redirected? Okay, that's an interesting thing. Now I have to answer that and give it more, right? The article says that outrage spreads faster than wisdom. Do you believe that's always true? Can you think of any examples where truth and quality actually rise to the top online? Right? So look, it's asking me all these questions that I have to...
Questions.
Yeah, and now I have to write and answer all these questions. And then we do it again, and again, and again, until I feel like I have truly given it all of the data. Then I will ask it to write my article after I've done this process. And that's why I feel like my writing is still my writing, even if I use ChatGPT, because I use this long process of back and forth until I'm satisfied.
I edit a lot. With me, I edited words by words, and I said, no, listen once again.
Yeah.
I think this part is better.
Right.
So
yeah, me too.
I always,
Yeah.
I don't copy exactly and paste it. No, I until I get something that I'm really satisfied with that.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I think I have to work on the prompts because my prompts sometimes not so good.
That's one of the most important parts, right? Prompt writing is really, really important. Yeah.
Because, for example, in English, I told him to give me a plan. A whole plan to improve my level. I am B2 to C1, and I don't be satisfied with the results, the plan result that they give me. And I said, maybe it's my prompt that I don't give it exactly what I want. They give me very general plan.
Right. Well, okay, that's the key. What you just said is the very general plan. Why is it a very general plan when you ask questions? This is also very important. The answers that I get from ChatGPT are probably better than the answers than you get. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the more I use ChatGPT, the more it knows how to answer me.
Yeah, you are training for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm training it. I'm training it to know what I want exactly, right? So, for example, I hate when it uses so many M dashes, those little hyphen lines that it uses. It uses them so much that it's like, what are you doing, man? It's an obvious way to say, well, this was written by ChatGPT because it has all these M dashes in the writing all over the place. And so I'll say, what are you doing? That's too many M dashes. And I'll say, no, don't do that. And then I'll say, the more that I write, every time I finish an article, I paste it into
Mhm.
ChatGPT, and then I tell it, don't change anything, just read it and study my style and learn from my style. Because then, in the future, when it writes for me, it knows to write in my style. So the more I write with it, the more it knows about me. So that means it gives better answers to me specifically. Right? So
Mhm.
if you're right, if you just say, give me a plan, it's not going to give you a specific plan because it can't, because it doesn't know anything about you. But if you tell it, I'm this person from here, and this is my goal, and this is what I'm doing, and this is my background, if you give it the data, now it will change the plan completely, and it'll say, well, this is what you need, right? And the more you use it every day, it will say, well, I can see that your writing is actually quite good, but we need to work on your pronunciation, or we need to work on your grammar, or we need to, whatever. It will see what you need the more you do it, right? So it gets better the more you use it. Yeah.
Yeah, I use it very specifically. So yeah, you are right. I need to work more in training my style.
You know, like some people are very worried about privacy and sharing information on there. I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't really care. I just don't. I think that's a weird, silly thing. I don't have that much in this world, so I don't have much to steal. So it's okay, you know. So I don't worry too much about those things. Um, so but I think that some people are so worried about it that it means that they're not getting they're not using it as well as they could because they're afraid to share anything about themselves. But because they're not sharing anything, that means that all the answers it gets are just general answers.
Very generous.
Right.
Yeah, very generous.
Yeah. But the more you tell it about you, it knows I'm a drummer. It knows I'm a teacher. It knows I travel. It knows I speak Chinese. All of those things help it to tell me better answers. You know? So that's an important thing to remember. The more that you use it, the more that you can give it, the better it will give back. But that is a risk. There's a risk, you know?
Yeah. So for the plan, specific for the plan, the idea is to give them in every aspect of English. Give me a plan for reading. Give me a plan for writing.
Right.
Or
yes,
yeah,
I think. Well, yes,
like that.
I'm the one who says this. The eight areas, right? You know, reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking,
Yes.
grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, right? Yes. However, in those 8 areas, everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, right? So in some of those areas, you're going to need more work, and in some of those areas, not so much work, right? So again, that's the kind of thing that you need to tell it. You need to say, like, you know, hey, my grammar is really terrible. I need to work on my grammar. Or my grammar is really terrible, but guess what? I don't really care because it's not important for my goals, right? So if you tell it that, then it will adjust. It will say, oh, well, grammar's not that important to you. Okay, fine. Then we'll focus more on these other things instead, right? But if grammar is really important to you, then it'll create a plan where that's more focused. And remember, I always talk about strengths and weaknesses. If you tell it, my strength is speaking and my weakness is writing. That's good. That's good information to tell it. It helps it to give you a better plan. Right? And then just remember, Carolina, again, whatever it gives you, push back. Push back. So if you say, I don't like this plan, it's too general. Just tell me, hey, this is too general. Come on. I could get that out of anything. I need a plan for me. Help me make a plan for me. And then it will say, okay, tell me more about you and your goals so we can make a better plan together. All right? So really,
yeah, because I don't like to speak with ChatGPT because they don't give me the chance to talk. ChatGPT start talking. La, 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 la,
no, right? Yeah, that's the other reason why I don't like it is because it doesn't know how to have natural conversation yet. It's not there yet. That's difficult. It's coming. I think maybe next year, 2 years from now, it probably will be a lot better at just being able to speak spontaneously and freely, right? And it will sense your space. It will sense your words better. It has no timing. Timing is so important in language, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have any timing, then every joke you tell is not funny, right? And so that's the thing. It doesn't understand about the timing of language, that I have to wait for you and you have to wait for me, and maybe you start speaking and I accidentally have to say, oh, no, wait, she's going to say something. I have to stop. It doesn't know how to do that yet, but it probably will learn. It will learn it pretty soon. So, again,
I hope so.
the more you use it, the better it's going to get. And Bill Gates, I saw Bill Gates on TV the other day talking about AI, and when Bill Gates, who is one of the founding most important people in the history of computers, if he says he is a bit shocked about how fast it's developing, that's very shocking. If a guy like that is very shocked about how fast this is developing, that tells you that it is crazy how fast it's going.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
so even
In this 5 years,
right.
it's been developing.
That's
crazy.
exactly right. So that's where they are at. When you ask them what is it going to be like in 5 years, they cannot tell you. That's how fast the technology is developing. Because it's developing so quickly, they are unable to make predictions about the future anymore because of how much it could change in such a short time. Yeah.
Yeah, in some sense, it sounds a little bit scary.
It is.
But in some way, it's also very exciting.
I think so too. Many people believe that we are on the cusp of a big social change. That we are on a cusp
we are in a revolution.
Yeah, many people believe that we're on the kind of a cusp of a new level of consciousness in humanity, that we're starting to appreciate. Yeah, well, I mean, look what we're doing right now. Again, look what we're doing right now. For 5 years, I have been talking to people from every country in the world freely about everything. That's new. You know? This makes the world a much smaller place. You know? It's such a small place. You guys are watching me every day. It's like you're in my room. You know? So, but we didn't have that before. Everything felt so far. Everything felt so much distance before, and everything was so different before. We felt like it must be different, but it's not. Here we are, you know. So yeah, I think that usually great change comes with a cost. It usually means that it is going to be difficult, but. Great change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. You can't get around it. You can't avoid it. It's always going to happen. And I think this change is due. Like, we've been due for this change for a while. The systems that we've been using for a while haven't really been working very well in some ways. And humanity needs to look at that and be like, we can do better. This is not good enough. Come on, we can do better than this. That's where we're at right now. I think humanity is looking at the way we've been doing things and saying, really? This is the best we can do? We can't do better than that? Come on. We have much better technology, much better knowledge, much better ability now. Why can't we do better than we did 50 years ago? You know? So, we'll see.
I hope so, because we are very shallow society right now, so I hope that we really stop and think and we really change the way that we are right now.
Yeah, you know, there's an article I was working on yesterday, another article I started for my blog, that I'm writing about how many people feel like the internet is making people narcissistic. Like everybody is a narcissist. Like, listen to me, I have something to say. I'm so important. You should like me. You should follow me. These are the reasons why I always try to say things like I'm just a drummer. And I try to say things like, hey, if you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Like, I don't care. I only want you to follow me if you actually enjoy it and you like it and appreciate it. But I'm not seeking your attention and I'm not seeking your adoration. I do what I do. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine. Okay? But
we need more people like you, Mark, because you are a good influencer in the good way.
Well, that's the key, is you have to be a good influencer.
There are a lot of people that don't help at all.
Right. So what I was going to say is, a long time ago, what we used to talk about how you never know what talent is hiding in a person who's working in a factory 12 hours a day. Or working in a field on a farm 12 hours a day. They might have the most beautiful voice you've ever heard. They might be a brilliant writer. They might be a genius speaker. They might be an artist. They might have some incredible talent. And they've been unable to show their talent or even pursue their talent because of work, right? Well, now we have social media, and I feel like everybody's got a voice now, right? And everybody's trying to say something. But I think that part of this is a natural pushback. Because for hundreds and thousands of years, we've actually been forced to always give up our talent for work. We've always been forced to give up our talent for work. And now social media is allowing us to see the special little talents that people have everywhere. So you'll find some grandfather in Peru who's a brilliant cook, and he likes to put his videos online and show his brilliant cooking. And that's awesome. And you'll see some girl who likes to write poetry and some guy who likes to do drawings. And these are people who you maybe,
you can share,
you wouldn't have known about them before. Maybe they did that drawing before. Maybe they did those things before, but you never heard about it and you never saw it. And there are certainly a lot of people who are just psychologically desperate for attention and desperate for adoration. They want people to say how much they love them. That's a problem. That is a problem. That is narcissism. Yeah, that's a big problem. That is narcissism. But there are also some people who I think just genuinely want to share something that they do or offer. And I think that,
for sure,
like I said,
a lot of good artists.
I feel like this is, again, like child psychology. We're working through it. Then it's going to take some time. And maybe right now we're in the beginning where everybody's a narcissist and everybody thinks that whatever they say is brilliant and everybody should listen to them. But I think that in time, we'll start to see that, okay, maybe not everybody is brilliant. We'll understand that that's true. But we'll start to appreciate people more for just the little things that they do, That's the thing about the internet.
My husband is a composer.
Oh.
My husband is a musician too.
Wow.
He's and also a producer. And we have a lot of discussions about that because he told me sometimes there's a lot of music out there, just shitty music.
Yeah.
AI is doing music, and sometimes he's very pessimistic. But sometimes I told him, listen, it is a good way to put out there your music.
That's true. And you know what? There's another way to think about it too, Carolina. Something that I've been doing with ChatGPT recently that I found great is, do you know what? I kind of liked poetry when I was a boy. When I was really young, I liked poetry. Then poetry became just schoolwork, and it was not fun. It was just studying, and I didn't like it anymore. I've been rediscovering poetry now because of ChatGPT. You know, I'm asking ChatGPT to write poetry for me in a style that I like. I'll tell it, here's the topic, write a poem about this feeling I have, and write it in the style of this poet. And now I can explore poets. I can explore Robert Frost by reading poetry like Robert Frost. I can explore Pablo Neruda by reading poetry like Pablo Neruda. And then that's new. That's like, wow, this is fun. It's not reading their poetry, it's reading their style. And that's interesting. That's fun to play with. But, you know, what I was going to say is, in 1978, they invented the first electric drum machine. And when they did, they told everybody, there won't be any more real drummers. There'll be only electronic drummers because we don't need real drummers anymore. We have the electronic drums, right? Well, guess what? It's 2025, and I'm still here, and I still play real drums. So I think that your husband, him worrying about AI and music, my point was that I'm able to play with poetry now in a new way and rediscover my joy for something simple like that. I think music is like that for many people. They felt like they could not experience the joy of music because it was too hard for them. But now, okay, if you want to go on one of those apps and say, can you write a song for me like this, you know, do that. Please go explore music. That's fine with me. You know, the only thing that I will say is, do not call yourself a musician if you wrote music using AI. That's not the same thing. You are not a musician if you wrote a song using an AI app. That is not a musician. That is, you wrote an app, or you wrote a song in an app. That's all. Okay? But if you want to explore music, that's great. If you want to explore art, I think that's fine. And guess what? Who knows? Maybe some of what comes out might actually be brilliant or interesting in some new way, you know? So I think it will have bad effects on music in some ways, but I think it might have some beneficial effects on music in some ways too. And it might make music more accessible to more people, you know?
I told my husband that, well, if you want to create music like everyone, use AI. But if you really want to do something else different, you do it in your way.
Well, that's true.
Because the AI cannot replace that.
Yeah, well,
the AI cannot replace the human feeling, the real essential.
So this is the problem with AI art. Art is about expressing feelings. But right now, AI does not have any feelings. It can't have feelings. It does not have feelings. If it does not have feelings, then it cannot make art. It makes a copy.
That's my point.
It makes a copy of art. Yeah. When I read Pablo Neruda, I understand the man. I feel the connection of emotions. I know the person. I feel the person. I can't understand the emotions of AI. I can't understand. It has no background, right? So if I read a poem about a girl breaking up with a guy, and it's written by a guy, I can understand that guy because I've had a breakup, so I can read that. But if AI writes a poem about a breakup, it's never had a breakup. It doesn't know. It's only writing what it thinks you're supposed to say. So, yeah, in that way,
always
it
needs
can't.
humans. So AI always needs a human.
That's right. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, I think that AI is just a new tool, and it will be used both. It will be used artistically and unartistically, and so it will create problems, but it will also create new areas of art and new possibilities, right? So I don't worry about it that much. the only thing I worry about, I don't worry about if people use AI to make music. What I do worry about is people not understanding the difference between a song written by me and a song written by a computer. The difference is that when I write a song by me, it's about me. It's about what happened to me. It's about my emotions. It's about my experiences. It's about something that's real. When you listen to a song by AI, it's not real. It's nothing real. It's all just a fake story that it created. Now, maybe it's a good story. You know? It does. It does make amazing music. I have one of the apps. It's called Suno AI, and I use it. I use it occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I use Suno to maybe if I need like a song for my show. You know, maybe I want to make a song for my live stream. I can do that. You know, I can ask it to make one. And guess what? Because I'm a musician, I have an advantage of that too, because I know how to talk to Suno AI about music, so I can describe it more clearly, and then I can get a better result. You know, most people don't know how to talk about music, so you can't really get a good result. You know, write a pop song.
Exactly.
Okay, good. You know,
exactly.
Right.
And the prompt is very specific because you are talking about the language, a specific language.
Right.
So AI can create a good song.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, I think that there are a lot of things that it's going to change, a lot of things it's going to make scary, but I'm not that worried about it because I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for people to realize that an imitation is just an imitation. Mm-hmm. Right? So the imitation right now looks really good. Right? So it's kind of like if I gave you a new cake, and this cake, it looks just like the old cake, and it the flavor is not bad. It looks the same. It smells the same, but
it's
but when you eat it, it doesn't have any sense of like, wow, so good, right? It's just bland. Yeah, it's just bland, and it's an imitation of a cake. It's not a real cake, right? It's the difference between my sister. My sister is a pastry chef. She makes the most amazing wedding cakes. They're like artwork, right? And they're delicious, right? And then you buy a cake from the grocery store. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. The cake from the grocery store that's garbage. That's not a real cake. But guess what, Carolina? Most people buy the grocery store cake.
I know, that's a problem.
So in English, what we say is there's no accounting for the public's taste. And what that means
There's
is
no accounting.
yeah, there's no accounting for the public's taste. And what that means is people like crap. People like junk.
That's what my husband
you know?
said, but people wants that. And I said, yeah, but also there are some people that want the real thing.
That's right.
So don't worry.
Yeah, well, that's right. You just have to find your audience, right? You have to find your audience.
Exactly, it's your niche.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Niche,
That's right.
I'm absolutely for sure that you're gonna find it.
And again, in some ways,
it's good.
That's right. And again, in some ways, Carolina, this is also making. There are some musicians who they were just playing in their basement. They were not famous. They weren't doing anything, but they showed their brilliant talent on a video, and now they're famous or they're doing well because of their music. That's new. That's new. I mean, ask your husband. 50 years ago, just imagine how many genius, brilliant musicians there were who were in a basement playing somewhere that nobody ever heard. But now
millions.
Yeah, millions. That's right. So, but now if you have some talent, you can put a video out there and share it, and maybe someone will appreciate it, and maybe you get a small following. That's why I like to do this. I don't want a big following, because a big following means people are not really following me. They're following something else. A small following means you have people who are there for you. They're there for you specifically. A big following means you're just a clown.
Yeah.
You're just a clown. You're just entertaining everybody. But I'm not a clown. There are some people that I'm not trying to entertain you. If you don't like to learn, you're in the wrong place. Right? If you're watching my stream and you don't like to learn and you don't like education and you don't like talking about stuff, then you're in the wrong place. Yeah, that's all. But
Mhm.
I don't want people who don't want that. That's also different, because most people who are doing live streaming or I should say any social media, they want anybody. They want anybody. Just please like me. I don't care who you are, just like me. But I don't want the adoration of anyone. I want the adoration of people who I respect. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And honestly, I don't want adoration at all. I really don't. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable being adored.
Me neither.
I
Me
just,
neither.
I wouldn't mind being appreciated. That's all. Appreciated, not adored. I just want to be appreciated. That's it. That's all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, Carolina, it was
Well,
great to
Mark,
talk to you, but yeah, I
yeah.
need to get going. But it was wonderful to see you again and wonderful to talk to you. And tell your husband, don't worry. We'll get through this. Real music is still going to be made by real musicians. And as brilliant as that talent is, when you see a 10-year-old kid play piano like a brilliant genius, that makes AI look like nothing. When you see a 10-year-old kid who can play music like a genius, that makes AI look like the most simple little child's toy. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, Carolina, thank you very much for coming. I'll let you go and
Thank you for having
come back and see me
me.
again sometime. Okay. Take care. I'll see you next
Yeah,
time.
sure.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Mark. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Wow, that was a nice long conversation, but it's good. Caroline has been following me for a long time, and she's always in my room, so it's nice to chat with some people who are loyal followers. Loyalty's nice, right? Maybe sometimes people are lack of likes from real life, so be merciful. What do you mean, Sophia? And thank you, Beast. Oh yeah, Kaya. I forgot about Kaya. I need to message Kaya and see how she's doing. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Okay. It was my pleasure, Carolina. Anytime. Anytime. Robert, we don't talk about religion on this app. On this app, you're not allowed to talk about religion or politics. Okay, Robert? Your religion is your business, no one else's. Okay? Thank you for following the rules. I will answer your question, though. I have read the Bible a few times. Many years ago, I've read it. My uncle was a Catholic priest. You mean people need a fake connection because they don't know what the real one is. Yeah, Sophia, that's probably true. I think that a lot of people are, like AI girlfriends and stuff like that. A lot of people are connecting with AI girlfriends because they don't know what a real relationship is, so they're trying to fake one. I actually don't think that's too bad. I think that, to be honest with you, I think that the experience they might get might be good. You know, I think that they need to be reminded that it's just an app, that it's not real, that there are some times when people get so lonely. Loneliness is such a terrible disease. Loneliness can make you do many, many things. And I think some people are trying to connect with AI girlfriends or boyfriends because they're lonely. And when you're desperately lonely, you're willing to take a risk on something. So you do. And that's okay. I think it's actually not that bad. I think that as long as you can remember that it's just a tool, that it's not real, that it's just like a game. It's like a friendly little game that just chats with you sometimes. As long as you can remember that, and as long as you remember it's not real, it gives you some experience with virtual relationships, we'll call them. It gives you some experience with virtual relationships. And honestly, I think sometimes some experience is better than no experience. Some experience is better than no experience. Okay? And sometimes it's better if you can have a fight or you can have a discussion about something with an AI girlfriend or boyfriend. You can figure out the problems, and then when you do have a real girlfriend or boyfriend, now you've already figured that part out. You already talked about that with this AI bot. So now you know what you feel, you know what you think, you know what you want. That's okay, you know. Let me check on this over here. Nobody. Okay, good. Let's see. Leia, I like to use these types of big. This is something that cooks and chefs do. Cooks and chefs, we like to use prep jars to drink out of. It's a kitchen thing. When you work in a kitchen, we often drink out of these types of containers. For many reasons. When you work in a kitchen, you're busy. You don't have time to go get another glass and another glass and another glass. So you need a big glass, one. And two, because the bottom is very wide. So that means that it's not so easy to spill. It's not tall, it's wide and flat. So that means it's not easy to spill. And when you work in a kitchen, you want something that's big and wide and not easy to spill so that you can work and drink. So this is a product of me being a cook. I like to drink out of these types of things. Talk about nursing in the U.S. What about it, Pedro? Ask me some questions and I'll tell you some answers. My sister is a nurse. I can answer some questions about that. Robert says, what's the meaning of life? Robert, life has no meaning until you give it meaning. Okay, Robert? The meaning of life is that you give life meaning. Okay? If you didn't find meaning in life, it's because you didn't try to make any meaning in life. Enma, are you asking me? I don't have a daughter, Enma. I'm not married. I have no children. How old am I? How old do you think I am? That's what I always start with. How old do you think I am? Guess how old you think I am, and then I'll tell you how old I really am. Let's see, we've got a guess of 35. We got a guess of 18. I like that one. We got a guess of 52. We got a guess of 40, 48, 38. Okay. Lena is the closest. Lena and who was the other one? Honer are the closest. I will turn 50 in September. I will turn 50 in September. Well, thank you. I tried to look much younger than 50. I'm a Virgo. Yeah, I'm 49. I'll be 50 next month. I'm young in mind and heart. Body not so much. Ooh, there's a deep question. What advice would I give my younger self? Don't be such a dumbass. That would be the advice I would give myself if I could go back in time. I would smack myself in the back of the head and say, "What are you doing? Don't be such a dumbass. Stop making life so hard for yourself." That's the advice I would give. I think the best advice you could give to your younger self is, why do you make things so hard for yourself? Get out of your own way. Sometimes the problems that you have in life are the problems that you made. You know? Yeah. So, I would tell myself, don't be such a dumbass. Sometimes you should just choose the let's put it this way. I think that in life you can learn things the easy way, or you can learn things the hard way. The easy way to learn things is to have someone tell you what you should do and do that. That's the easy way to learn things. You know, somebody tells you what you should or shouldn't do, and then you say, "Oh, that's good. I'll do that." The other way to learn things is to do them wrong. To make mistakes. To try something that doesn't happen the way you thought it would. It doesn't work out the way you thought it would. That's another way to learn. And what I would say is that sometimes we should just learn the easy way. Stop always trying to learn the hard way by making mistakes to learn. You know, sometimes it's better just to say, "All right, yeah, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Maybe I should just do it the normal way." That would be easier. You know? Yeah. Do I think food safety is important? Robert, I'm a cook. So absolutely, I do think food safety is very important. I cook only with the highest level of food safety. Good night, Jasper. What about the feeling we have whenever you want to make a big decision? What about it? Young people tend to be rebellious and end up going on to learn the hard ways. Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean, is that every young person is a dumbass. Every young person is a dumbass. Every young person does things that they don't need to do, meaning they learn things the hard way when they didn't always have to. That's being young. That's what being young is. Being young, we say young and dumb. That's what we call it. You're young and dumb. You know, you do dumb things when you're young. You don't know any better yet. That's how you get wisdom. Did you ever wonder? The word wisdom, it sounds like the word dumb. It's like wise and dumb. How did you put those two words together? Well, wisdom, to have wisdom, to become wise, a wise man is just a man who did a lot of dumb things and learned from it. A wise man is just someone who did more dumb things than you did and learned from them. That's the only key. They did more dumb things than you, but they learned from them. That's what wisdom is. You're wise now. You were dumb before. Okay, guess what, guys? It's been 2 hours. I was only going to do an hour and a half, but we were having such a nice conversation. But my throat is dry, and I'm hungry, so I'm going to take a break, and I need to go back and do some more writing. I'm going to work on my blog some more, so please go read my blog. Go read my blog, everybody. That's the thing that's most important to me right now, is my blog. Okay, if you like my answers, if you like my thoughts, if you like my teaching, go read my articles, because that's the best version of my thoughts. Okay, right there. That is my blog. Go there and read my thoughts and ideas about the world and about learning and about teaching and about English. Okay? That's my blood, my sweat, and my tears in those words. That's 49 years of wisdom. Dumb being the big part. Okay, guys, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, wherever you live in the world. And come back and see me again tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay, guys, bye-bye. See you next time.